Let's talk about what to do when you're stuck with a poem. You know that feeling when you are writing a poem and you're just like, oh, I don't know where to take this from here. I don't know where else to go with this. I'm confused. I don't know what direction it's heading in. And now I just want to give up on the poem completely. I get quite a few messages with people asking me, what do I do when I'm stuck? What do I do when I don't know what the poem wants from me? So today we're diving into 5 things that you can do that will hopefully get you unstuck and back to writing. So the first thing that you're going to do, and if you've been here for a while or you are subscribed to my Substack, you probably have heard me say this before, but you're going to literally ask the poem what it's trying to say. You are going to take 5 to 10 minutes, you're gonna set a timer, and you're going to journal. You're gonna write at the top of the page, what is this poem trying to say? And then you're going to just free write and see what comes up. What comes up might not make sense at all. It might make complete sense. You might be like, light bulb moment. You might be like, hold on a second, this didn't give me any of the information I needed. But at the very least, you are taking that time to kind of unblock yourself through the form of free writing so that new ideas can come through. By the way, I have a really cool guide for poets if you didn't already know. It is called the Poetic Voice Workbook, and it will help take you through all the steps that you need to find and craft your unique poetic voice and feel comfortable leaning into your style of writing. And it is completely free, so I will leave the link in the description if that is something you are interested in. Okay, so step number 2 in getting unstuck when you're writing a poem is to brain dump. There is so much power in just letting things out, in letting things go, and clearing the creative channel for something new to come in. And if you're feeling blocked with a poem or even a piece of writing in general, it might be because you're stuck in your head or you're overwhelmed and you have a lot going on. So just take a few minutes and just let it all out. I promise it's going to feel so much better afterward, and then you'll have that space to really think about your poem. Step 3 is really similar to a brain dump, but we're gonna go a step further and make it even more intentional, and we're gonna make a mind map. Except instead of using a mind map to kind of just like dump out whatever we're thinking or feeling, focus very specifically on the poem itself and making a mind map about the poem. So you can do this a few different ways. You can choose either a line from the poem, a word from the poem, or the poem's theme. You're gonna put that in the middle of your page, draw a circle around it, and then you're gonna branch out from there with all of your different ideas, other lines, thoughts, etc., about what's in the middle of that mind map. And hopefully by now, given that you've done a free write and asked the poem what it's trying to say, you've done a brain dump and now a mind map, hopefully those wheels are turning just a little bit and you're getting a little bit more clarity on where to take your poem. Okay, so step number 4 is to take your existing poem and to circle any lines or phrases that stand out to you. Is there somewhere that this line or phrase can go next? Can you expand on it in any way? Is there something that might fit in between this word and that word, this phrase and that phrase, and this idea turn into something else and be expanded on? So for example, maybe you're writing about a very specific memory or moment in time. And so far you have 1 line or 2 lines about that memory. Ask yourself, can I take this further? Does it need to be expanded on? Does it want to be expanded on? Is there another hidden metaphor within this specific detail about the memory? Or is it fine as is on its own? Would it bring value if I expanded on this? And you can do that for a word as well. In my How to Write a Poem video, I talk about crafting imagery and taking a phrase like I'm sad and then evolving that into something even deeper and more poetic. That's also something you can do in your existing poem as well. Okay, and last step, step number 5, and this one might be 1, obvious, and 2, not what you wanted to hear, but maybe you just need to take a step back from your poem. Go for a walk, take a hot shower, do some yoga. Get out of your environment. There are so many ways that we can get stuck and burnt out in a steady environment, and just moving that energy around can be so incredibly helpful. With all of that being said, sometimes when we're stuck with a poem, we just need to challenge ourselves to go a little bit deeper. Sometimes that challenge looks like looking at the poem in a new light, or doing some creative exercises and journaling, or sometimes it's just to simply take a break. Whatever it ends up looking like for you, I really hope that this was helpful and that it gets you unstuck in your creative writing, and that you feel really confident looking at your poem and knowing the direction to head in next. If you've made it to the end of this video, I definitely urge you to check out the link in the description. I have so many resources for poets, whether you're looking to spark your love for writing, or find your poetic voice, or challenge yourself to write every day, or find poetry in the everyday moments. Definitely check out what I have available, and I will see you on the next page. Bye for now.